The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show,
presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours
on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
From the Jamborees to the Superdome,
your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to the Week 2 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Jimmy Roy, Todd Black. Ryan Kennedy on the audio board, Taylor Sharp producing video tonight in our cast of thousands behind the scenes gathering scores. We got Reese, we got Skip, we got Charlie.
Will. Charlie.
We truly do have a cast of thousands behind the scenes, and you'll see the ticker make its reappearance tonight and follow along. If you're watching us on Cox Sports Television, we appreciate you tuning in. So, big action tonight. Lots of things have already happened. We will highlight it over the next 2 hours. A big win for the Catholic High Bears at home as they returned from that trip to Maryland last week and are now 2-0 on the season after beating Acadiana. Certainly a big topic we'll get to again much later. North Shore teams returning, a couple of them at least, to play. Livingston Parish, Ascension Parish teams getting back on the field. Still a ways to go for our friends down in New Orleans and the Bayou and a lot of teams, honestly, on the east half of Livingston Parish and up on the North Shore. But slowly but surely, we got a couple of teams coming back. And then also, we got some coaches, we got some communities doing some real good things. We want to highlight some of those things tonight. You've got coaches that are getting together, finding opportunities. I believe there was a game played at Walker tonight. There's games being played over at Dutchtown's new field. So I think when you look beyond the X's and O's in the field, you're going to see the generosity and just the genuine appreciation for what these coaches, and more specifically what they do for the young men, young women in high school athletics in the state.
Jimmy, and I believe Jennings shared helmets and pads with St. James with Coach Valdez until they get all their equipment under control.
Correct. Talked with Coach Laquette down at Hahnville today. Dunham, Neil Weiner's group over there, Marcus Randall at Woodlawn sent equipment down to them. Hahnville and Destrehan were able to save their game uniforms, but were not able to save some of their equipment, and schools have been helping them out. DJ's Grills down in Vacherie has had Lutcher and St. James kids handing out 5,000 meals to the community, just doing everything they can. Hahnville is going to actually try to come back to practice next Monday or Tuesday. It's going to be early in the morning. Coach Laquette said the way he's going to handle it is not going to be mandatory. If you got something to do at your house, you do it. If you can show up to get away and you need that break, you come in. It's not going to be held against you. And they're hoping for week 4. That's when Hahnville Destrehan play. They're hoping to play that week, if not possibly week 5. So, another thing teams are running into, Todd, and I never even thought about this, pregame meals and concession stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Teams have not, like I know one school I talked to today, they had to go to Lafayette to get chicken to feed their team for a pregame meal. They weren't able to cook their pasta live that they always cook. They were able to cook for 150 instead of 300 or 400 like they normally would, 500, just because they can't get the supplies because it's all going to more needy places, and I understand it.
Right.
So, good for them.
Elsewhere, as far as football goes, as we mentioned, Acadiana Catholic High, you got a couple of teams coming back. You got some games being played as teams kind of shift on the fly. I believe Live Oak went over to Central.
Pearl River, Mississippi.
Yeah. So
I have not seen the final.
35-34, Live Oak.
Oh, wow. Good one.
But, yeah, you got a couple of things. Dunham played Mandeville tonight, so as we mentioned, North Shore teams coming back. But the real true stories of some of this is those good deeds that are being done in and around the communities. Now, I know we'll be talking with a couple of coaches tonight as, the weeks progress. Hopefully these numbers increase and we can include the New Orleans Bayou areas. But lots of great football. Last night we had a couple of good games. We were just talking about it in the pre-show before our audience joined us. You got Madison Prep advancing to a 2-0 start on the season. And, Jimmy, it was a comeback win for the Chargers.
It was. Southern Lab jumped out 16-0. Angelo Azar, the quarterback of Southern Lab, had a great first half, going 7 for 10, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, one to Herman Brister, who's a Navy commit that we've kept up with for a while. He's back from his knee injury. Madison Prep scored 20 unanswered in the second half, or late in the first half on into the second half. Zion Chris, the UL committed quarterback, had 250 yards, 2 touch and pass downs, and a rushing touchdown. Scored the last one with under a minute left from about 5 yards out. The thing that haunted Lab, as well as they played in the first half, they threw 3 interceptions in the second half inside the 20-yard line and did not get any points. So 3 red zone trips, got nothing to show for it, and that was really the difference in the ballgame. If they execute one, if they just get one, it's a good upset.
You know, turnovers earlier are really – they're tough, especially in the opponent's red zone, and you've got to be able to cash those into points. And when you don't, sooner or later, man, that other team gets a little bit of momentum. It's really hard to stop, and that's obviously what happened a little bit to Madison Prep.
But one thing this tells me, Todd, Southern Lab's pretty good.
Yep.
And they played A-Meet in the Jamboree, beat A-Meet, and then to play Madison Prep like this for a 1A school, they have a chance to make a run.
McKinley and Capital playing for the first time, I believe, in 2 years. It was McKinley over Capital 12-6. Scotlandville and East Ascension got a chance to play. That one was played on the campus of Dutchtown on their new field. Scotlandville coming away with the victory 39-20.
Scotlandville, big plays in all 3 phases of the game. They opened the game with a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Chance Williams. Chance Williams scores again. The next drive go up 14-0. The unfortunate thing was personal fouls, unsportsmanlike penalties after the touchdowns, and Chance Williams, who along with Marlon Gunn is probably the best backfield duo probably in the state, not just the area, as a pair. But Chance got ejected, couldn't control himself, did some silly things that kids will do, and it ended up costing them. But Savion T-Set had a good night at quarterback, 19-29 for 182 yards. Marlon Gunn, who has a Florida State offer, who's as good as there is in the area, 16 carries for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. Damian Knight's another guy, played both sides of the ball. He had, I know of at least 2 interceptions, maybe 3. He ran one back for 37 yards and also had 7 catches for 58 yards. EA made it respectable, Todd. They went down behind 14-0 and 21-7, I think. Closed it, had a chance to go ahead, but every time that EA would answer, Scotlandville had an answer for it. Troy Dunn had a good night at quarterback with 130 yards.
So they really pushed to get this field done for Dutchtown for the opening night of the Jamboree. So then they don't get to play a Jamboree because of disciplinary actions on another team. So then they hope to play it the following week. And, of course, there's the hurricane. So they've been really anxiously awaiting to play tonight. But it's also been a benefit to have it ready for the other teams in that parish as well, as Santa Ma will be playing there tomorrow, and EA played there last night.
And that is one thing you're seeing throughout this whole course. You had Walkersfield being used today. Like you said, Dutchtown, used by 3 different schools in 3 days. Hahnville, St. James, all those schools are going to be traveling somewhat or using fields and sharing fields. So you will see some games move to Thursdays. You'll see some Saturday day games. Some of the teams, like Hahnville said, they may not have lights. We'll play during the day on Saturday. You may see a lot of Saturday games this year.
And officials have a lot to do with that, as we made aware to me and you as well.
Interesting. It's something we'll bring up later on. Robin Fambro had a little Q&A with Executive Director Eddie Bonine, and they talked about the officials, talked about a couple other things, even the rule that I think Mr. Bonine is going to be a little lenient on with the 2 games and the forfeit and all that other stuff based on what's going on with a lot of teams. But I did see, speaking of River Parishes and Coach Laquette, that Destrehan, Hahnville, they're planning to play it September 25th.
Week 4.
Which would be great for that community.
You know what's interesting, and I really just didn't think of it and learned of it last year, is even if you look at a turf field and you see everything looks to be ready to play, glass is a huge factor that gets caught in these turf fields, and you can't let kids play on there unless you're 100% knowing that there's not any glass out there. But that's a major contributor to a lot of these schools having to move games as well.
That was something that Sulphur,
from the lights.
Yep.
I'm guessing, right?
correct.
Yeah.
That is something that Sulphur went through last year. They
Yep.
had to get the glass out of the field before they could play.
All right. Well, coming up in just a bit, we look forward to some conversations with some victorious head coaches, including one David Brewerton, expected to join us for the first time this season, and a whole lot more. But let's get you caught up on scores from a couple of regions here around the state. And as customary, we will start off in the capital city.
Catholic defeats Acadiana 20-0. Zachary over St. Paul 41-2. Dutchtown a 38-7 winner over Evangel. Bruley over Parkview Baptist 14-7. Scotlandville 39, East Ascension 20. St. John of Plaquemine 14, Central Private 10, and Central 40, Terra 6.
In the North Shore, Mandeville over Dunham 27-6. Covington over Franklinton 34-21.
North Central Louisiana, Neville over Ouachita 28-6. Bastrop 16, Faraday 0. Sterlington a 35-13 winner over Mangum. Union Parish 43, Airline 20.
In Acadiana, Church Point beats Kaplan 32-8. Alexandria over St. Thomas More 59-35.
All right, that's your scores for the moment. We will certainly continue to keep you updated, and if you're watching on CST, you'll see all the scores on the bottom of the screen following our ticker. And if you follow us on Twitter at Louisiana Prep, we're going to be tweeting out final scores throughout the night. You'll have a select couple of scores we'll be reading throughout the night, but you'll visually see them all on the ticker and on our Twitter account at Louisiana Prep. Real quick before we go to break, Union Parish, another team, 2-0 on the season, if I'm not mistaken, now 43-20 with that win over Airline.
You know, right. Another interesting, Alexandria, he mentioned there towards the end, Alexandria 59, St. Thomas More 35.
Opens 0-2, STM does. And Ash has put up those type of numbers. Last week, I think they put up 65 against Faraday, but to go out and put them up again against STM.
And Faraday's not bad. I mean, they've been right there.
They've been good over the last couple of years. Won a state championship just a couple of years ago, beat Manny. Small towns like that, they go through their cycles where they had some really athletic kids that year that was really well coached, really good team. STM, I think, could be in for a long haul. They lost all their receivers. We'll get to them in the Acadiana area when we talk about it, but replacing the three guys that they had in Besh, Domain, and Carter, that's some tough shoes to fill. Yeah,
Howard's the lone one at the dance right now, trying to find somebody
to dance with him, right?
A little bit. We'll take a time out. We'll be right back. This is week 2 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, served by Walk-Ons.
A 41-2 winner over St. Paul. Dutchtown a 38-7 winner over Evangel. Bruley 14, Parkview Baptist 7. Donaldsonville defeats Port Allen 40-18. Scotlandville 39-20 over East Ascension. St. John defeats Central Private 14-10, and Central a 40-6 winner over Terra.
In the North Shore, Mandeville over Dunham 27-6. Covington defeats Franklinton 34-21. North Shore 41, Salmon 34. Pearl River 42, Pope John Paul 21.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours. The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Neville 28-6 winner over Ouachita. Ouachita Christian defeats Oak Grove 35-21. Bastrop shuts out Faraday 16-0. Sterlington 35, Mangum 13. Union Parish a 43-20 winner over Airline. General Trask 56, Wassman 22. Cedar Creek 40, Vidalia 6. And Jonesboro Hodge 41, West Ouachita 20.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Into Acadiana, Benton defeats Barb 49-40. Church Point over Kaplan 32-8. Iowa 41, Kinder 18. Minnie defeats DeRitter 61-26. Eunice 33, Jennings 18. Lake Arthur 15, Grand Lake 26. And Alexandria over St. Thomas More 59-35.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours. The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
Back here, hurricane affects everything a little bit.
It's been tricky up here, I'll tell you that. It's getting information with internet going in and out and trying to get in touch with coaches with no phone service and things like that. It actually has been a little more difficult than normal years.
You know, a couple teams that have continued their winning ways this year, coming off of last year, is General Trask and Grand Lake.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing a good job.
And we'll talk about it a little bit later, but like you mentioned in between breaks, Oak Grove goes to 0-2, had an 18-game win streak stop this year. Week 1. I think we're going to try to get Coach David Brewerton on.
You know, sometimes it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what Ryan's going to do.
All right, let's jump back on the GMFS Mortgage Hotline, and we are joined by Victoria's head football coach, David Brewerton, tonight, as Zachary gets the win over St. Paul's 41-2. Coach Brew, thanks so much for your time tonight. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. We certainly appreciate it.
Coach Brew, we talked earlier this morning, and I don't think either one of us saw this type of score coming.
No, I didn't. It was kind of one of those things where we started really, really fast and got a couple scores on the board, and it kind of snowballed on them after that. Our defense played really, really well, and just really, really proud of it. No question.
Coach, we're going to talk about your defense in a little bit, but I want you to share a story that you were telling me today about your wide receiver, Charles Robertson. He's a 3-year starter committed to UL. Talk about his recruiting trip and his offer to ULL with Coach Napier.
Right. So Charles is a hard-nosed kid. I think he enjoys stalk blocking out there just as much as he loves catching football.
You gotta love that.
You see that from a receiver very often, right? So anyway, he goes down there and he gets to the point where he's going to commit, and they bring him in Coach Napier's office, and they sit down. It's he and his mom, and they're sitting there with Coach Nape, and he says, "Coach, listen, the living quarters here. What are the rules?" And he says, "Well, Charles, what do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, like, what can you have in the dorm rooms where we live?" He said, "Charles, I'm not sure that I understand what you're asking, man. Why don't you just come out and ask me?" He says, "All right, is it okay if I have my fishing pole or my deer rifle in my dorm room?"
Oh, my.
And he said, "Charles, I've never really had a receiver ask me that kind of question before. Maybe a couple O-linemen, but never a receiver." And he got a big smile on his face, and he said, "You are exactly the kind of kid we need to continue to build the culture we want." So the next morning, Coach Nate went into the staff meeting and says, "Let me tell you guys a story." So a couple of their guys called me after that. They were all fired up about it. It was a pretty funny story.
So I'm assuming the fishing pole could stay and the gun had to go.
Probably so.
What you don't know don't hurt sometimes.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Coach, talk about that defense. In our conversation earlier, without putting pressure on those guys and Coach Thomas over there, this group may be the best you've ever had at Zachary High School.
Well, we returned a lot of experience there, and we're a little bigger up front than we've been in a while on the defensive side, and but can still run really well behind them. So, we're pretty athletic on that defensive side of the ball right now, and have two senior inside linebackers that are making a ton of plays right now. So, and then you got a free safety over the top that's got multiple offers, heckling athletes back there. That's a junior, and so right now we're just kind of we're just asking them to play fast right now. We just want to see them play fast and violent, and they're certainly doing that. I knew coming in with 5 new guys up front on the O-line that we're going to need some time to gel up there, and the offense is going to need some time, and certainly are leaning on our defense right now, putting us in some really good, advantageous situations.
One of the big things, Todd, Coach Brew just mentioned, he was replacing his entire offensive line, his front 5. St. Paul, one thing that stuck out to me, they were returning 9 starters on defense, including their whole front 7. They gave up more than 23 points in one regular season game last year, and Zachary goes out and puts up 41. So evidently the new O-line handled themselves pretty well tonight.
Coach, everybody has a philosophy on how to get those guys to gel as quick as possible. What's your philosophy, being an O-line guy, on how to make that happen?
Reps, man, reps. Last week we played West Feliciana, and the score got kind of lopsided, and we were able to play a lot of young guys everywhere except the offensive line. We kept those guys in there to play 4 quarters just because they need that time to gel together. They need to work those combos and see how that's going to work. But I'll tell you, when our defense is playing the way it's playing right now, I got to see something happen tonight that I've never seen since I've been coaching. I mean, we fumbled the ball on the 15-yard line, our own 15-yard line, and we challenged the defense before that. Look, this is a statement situation right now. Okay, you got to go play attitude right here. It's a sudden change situation. Go have the attitude. They are not getting in our end zone, and we get a 4 and out right there, and it was big right there. It was really, really big. You could feel the confidence level on our defense, which was already there, but you could feel it really rise. And if our defense plays with even more confidence it's playing with right now, they're going to be fun to watch.
Coach Brew, did y'all do something special before the game or halftime tonight? A special little recognition?
Well, we honored, obviously with the anniversary of 9/11 tomorrow. We ran out flags with all branches of the military along with the American flag, and then we did in our reserve seating section in the stadium. We added 13 more seats to the reserve section down at the bottom, and kind of hung American flags on all 13 of those, just kind of honor those, the military people that lost their life last month, and it was nice. It was a great situation. It really was.
All right. Class act as always, Coach Brew and the Zachary community. Just a big win tonight, Coach Brew, and keep it rolling. And let's see the revival of the horseshoe. It could be back, baby.
Yeah, we're taking a ride down to New Orleans next week. It looks like we're going to be St. Aug's first game back.
Okay.
Their staff was at our game tonight, so next Saturday night at 7 o'clock we'll be in Tad Gormley versus the Purple Knights. We're very excited about the road trip.
That's Saturday night. Saturday
night, 7 o'clock.
That's awesome for them, man. That's good for y'all and great for them too.
Definitely.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it, and congratulations.
And certainly, thank you guys, man. You do a great job, and we always appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Always.
You're going to beat me to it because I'm about to say the same
just
thing.
A great community. He's a perfect fit up there. Whatever he wants. Superintendent, Scott DeVilliers, let me say that first. Unbelievable. You cannot hire a better superintendent than Scott DeVilliers.
Well, and I think, the thought that anything like this happens, there's a lot of schools probably around the state that do things like this, but because Zachary's in our backyard, we know what they do, and to represent, the military, in my opinion, it's just, it is class. And a lot of things they do at Zachary
is something that you've always loved.
Oh, yeah.
And your kids have admired it and go shaking people's hand in a restaurant and things like that. I can remember stories. It's really cool. David Semino's dad, was talking with him on the sideline before this, and I didn't even think about it until he brought it up. These kids that are playing now weren't born for 9/11. I mean, you think of it as yesterday. We all do we think of this as something that, Yeah, you remember like yesterday, these kids weren't even born now.
It's a very interesting point. It's a day that you always hear about the term, but it's true. You can remember exactly where you were. I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where you're looking back and then, yeah, these kids are learning what happened, but at least, in the minds of, in their minds, and seeing the example that someone like David Brewerton is setting as far as honoring those.
And remembering them.
Is special.
Todd, Central had something special going on tonight, Cade?
Yeah, they certainly did, and I want to make mention, we will certainly talk about this again throughout the night because I wanted to pull up some photos and have a little trouble with that. But Central High School and Tara taking part in honoring what is considered the month of September Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And at halftime, they were discussing a fundraiser honoring 3 families that are currently fighting. And it really is a family when you talk about the fight. Certainly the one who's going through the treatment says in young 10-year-old Avery, and you hate to see it in such a sweet young girl, but the family is, they're making the trips. There's everybody's involved trying to help, young Avery in this case get better. She was diagnosed with Wilms tumor, and I believe started the beginning of 18 weeks of chemo treatment today, right?
That's correct. And you can donate at stjude.com, and basically, from what I've understood, is what these donations go to is for the families a lot. That when they go there, that's the last thing they really want to have to worry about is how are we going to pay for this? So they want to make sure that everything's taken care of. I've heard nothing but great stories about St. Jude and childhood, how they take care of not only the children, but also the family, because there's nothing worse than the family could be going through. And for them to be able to step up, and congratulations to Central for recognizing this. As you said, Cade, it's the whole month that's childhood cancer awareness. And this is, again, we want to make special recognition to all the children, but Avery Job, she was 3 weeks ago, as Cade said, diagnosed with Wilms tumor, and will be, she's anything like her parents. She's going to handle adversity great and get through this stronger than ever, and we really hope and pray that that's the case for 18 weeks ahead of her of chemo. Donate at stjude.com. That's stjude.com.
I guess I can mention her dad.
Yeah.
Matt Jobe. He's a good friend of ours. He's been a long-time official, called state championship games. Is one of the best in the area, if not. So I would think a lot of schools and communities know Matt. The coaches do, obviously, and hopefully they'll join forces and raise some money. I've had the opportunity. I took one of my baseball teams. We were playing in South Haven, and we had an off day, and we brought the team to St. Jude, and it's really impressive. And they take care of everything. It's the best organization you could ever.
Maybe when we come back, if you have those pictures, we can put some of them up because,
sure.
Again, we want to recognize Central High School as well, as they were victorious over Tara, but they also had another good cause, as we've been speaking of for the first 30 minutes of the show.
Right. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. This is the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Catholic defeats Acadiana 20-0. Zachary a 41-2 winner over St. Paul. Dutchtown over Evangel 38-7. Bruley a winner over Parkview Baptist 14-7. Donaldsonville 40, Port Allen 18. Scotlandville over East Ascension 39-20. St. John of Plaquemine over Central Private 14-10. And Central a 40-6 winner over Terra.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Benton 49, Barb 40. Minnie over DeRitter 61-26. Eunice gets the win over Jennings 33-18. Church Point over Kaplan 32-8. Iowa over Kinder 41-18. Lake Arthur 15, Grand Lake 26. Alexandria 59, St. Thomas More 35.
All right, welcome back to the Week 2 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Guys, as we look forward to hopefully getting connected with Coach Thomas Bachmann here, we can look around and see some of the other scores that have stood out to us tonight. Jimmy?
I think a big one was U-High over Woodlawn, 34-14. Coach Martin has his guys rolling. They've played Central and Woodlawn now, two 5A schools. A lot of talent on the field over there with Ricky Collins as the quarterback and Jordan Matthews for Woodlawn. U-High, of course, the Alsbury boys, Jaden and Austin. You had Derek Graham as running back, Roman Petrie. Blake Abney and Hudson Osborne still battling for that quarterback position. Todd, we saw him in the Jamboree and then saw him last week. I thought the strides they made from Jamboree week to week 1 was huge. But Woodlawn, and here's where you're going to see a lot of advantages. I thought U-High probably benefited by playing week 1 where Woodlawn didn't. And you're going to see a lot of that tonight where there's one team that's played a game and another one who's not.
Well, Dunham and Mandeville, I was going to tell you, I applaud Neil Weiner for taking that game.
Yes.
It's a tough, Mandeville's been in the quarterfinals of the last few years, and that was a tough matchup for them, but it kind of gives you an idea where Neil thinks this team can go.
27-6. It was 20-6 till right there at the end of the game. Mandeville got a late touchdown. I don't think that's a bad showing at all for Coach Weiner and them. I mean, you're talking about a small 2A school going to a large 5A school that has playoff success. I think this is a good one. Barb was another one, Todd, that came back. Hadn't played in 2 years.
Nope.
Because of the hurricane. Played Benton. Benton got the best of them, 49-40. But it was good to see Barb High School lights lit up on a Friday night and being able to play over there.
I think it was LaGrange last week. I don't know if they were playing at home, but I'm sure to them it doesn't matter. It's just as long as they're out there playing. And, I stressed this last year, and I'm going to stress this again. Playing on Friday nights means so much to kids. There are a lot of people that don't realize it,
right?
To how much it means.
Talk a little bit about Friday nights. I want to get in your head a little bit.
That's scary.
Yeah. Neville, you have a history of playing there. Todd has the all-time handoff record at Neville High School.
That's
for
right.
anyone who didn't know, we hadn't mentioned that this year. Beats Ruston last week in a thriller, instant classic. Comes back this week and beats Ouachita. I think last year was the first time since 1952 that Neville and Ouachita didn't play, and it was because of COVID. Just talk about what those rivalries mean in North Louisiana and what the atmospheres are like when those three teams meet up.
What's interesting is my JV coach was Mike Valerie, and Ouachita really wasn't a contender statewide until he went over there. And he started building them. I guess they ended up in the Dome. They ended up winning the state championship. So there was a rivalry between Neville and Ouachita, but that was a one-sided rivalry towards Neville. Neville and West Monroe on Fridays. I'm a redneck. I'm from up there, but these rednecks from West Monroe would put these rebel flags on the back of their truck, and they would start at 9 in the morning, and they wouldn't stop until 7, just riding around our campus. But it was cool.
Right.
I wouldn't have it any other way. And then Ruston is that was as classy, and I think it still is, of a rivalry that there was because of Charlie Brown, and even before that, Bill Ruppel. But then there's Chick Childress. And there's a lot of Neville ties in there. And boy, when we came out, I think it was a Redemptorist Parkview game, and it was at 5 o'clock, and it was packed. That's the way Ruston would be. Ruston had this bowl. It sits down. Their football field sits in this bowl, and there were people sitting on the ends all the way around. And the coolest thing, though, is once the game started, man, you didn't know if there were 5 people there or 1,000 people there. But it was like, you looked forward to it. Everybody looked forward to it. That's what they talked to. The big one when I was there was Neville Ruston. I mean, we played them in 82 twice, in 84 twice, and then 85 once. But one of us were always in the Superdome.
And I think the part of it that adds to that rivalry is all those teams were good back in the day. You can't have a rivalry unless both teams are really good, and you win some, you lose some. If you're blowing out a team every year, you're not going to have that rivalry.
Well, the other thing, too, is they wouldn't put you on the same side of the bracket. The only other way at that particular time, if you were going to meet up, was going to be in the Superdome. So you weren't going to meet them because of the way there wasn't power rankings at that particular point. It was your district and then your runner-up.
I think we have Thomas Bachmann. Is that right? Thomas Bachmann from Alexandria Senior High.
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Tell us a little bit about your team's performance.
Well, obviously proud of the kids. Played really, really hard. A lot of respect for them and, their coaching staff, their players. That quarterback is, if you can be better than advertised with, he's phenomenal. I've said a few times this week, if you weren't going against him, you would really enjoy watching. But he was phenomenal. His ability to put the ball in any spot he wants to put it in is pretty amazing. But as far as our kids, just really proud of our kids and the way they battled, the way they remain resilient. Some huge plays, some huge moments in that game. I thought we won some really big moments. And we'll enjoy this one tonight. Move on tomorrow.
Coach Jimmy Roy here. Appreciate you joining us, and congratulations. Talking about quarterbacks, you had to replace a guy who you rode for the last 2 or 3 years in Judd Barton. How is that going, and who's replacing him?
Joe Borderline's replaced him. I mean, Joe is a guy we feel really good about. I think Joe threw for 287 tonight, maybe 16 to 23. I just heard somebody say that 287. Trying to think, we scored 8 touchdowns, so I think he threw 3 touchdowns. Jarvis Newton had 29 carries for 257 yards and 5 touchdowns. But we feel really good about Joe. Joe is a junior, be our guy here for the next 2 years. He's, I don't feel like, we've fallen off very far. Obviously, it's hard to replace a guy like Judd that was the face of our program and, took us to the heights that he took us, that have been unprecedented around here. So, we still got a long way to go with Joe, but we feel incredible about him, in the future that we have.
You mentioned Jarvis Newton. That's 2 games back-to-back where he's gone over 100 yards. He's a kid that's kind of been waiting his time, splitting duties the last couple of years, but he's a true speedster.
Yes, he is. Jarvis can he can accelerate, and he is as explosive as any kid out there. Proud of the tough yards that he got. There's a lot of explosive guys out there that, just want the big plays. Jarvis went and got the tough yards at times tonight. The 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yard runs where you just, go bang it up in there. I think that's what a tailback does, and he does that. And then if you give him a crease and he gets the second and third level, he has a chance to score with how fast he is.
Coach, we had Jeremy Hill at Redemptorist, and we threatened to take the ball away from him if he just wouldn't take the yards the defense was giving him. Now, I don't know if we would have ever done that, but that threat certainly worked. But, the point is get your 3 yards, and the big play is going to bust. But that's not as easy for one to do as it is to say, right?
Yeah, it's hard, and try and get them to understand that if, let's try and wear them out. Let's try and get them on their heels. These 3, 4, 5 yard runs have got a chance to turn into, 30, 40 yard runs as the game wears on, and, having to do it play after play. And obviously really proud of Jarvis. When they have that explosiveness where they can score, they've scored a lot through their career. They do want to score every time they touch the ball, but, you got to make sure you're putting your guys that are in front of you, paving your way, you're setting them up. Sometimes when you're bouncing the ball all the time, it leads to holding penalties, and everybody's screaming at the linemen and the tight ends and all that stuff, when really that stuff is on the running back and some of the stuff that he's doing. And so really proud of Jarvis and his performance tonight. Didn't play a whole lot in the fourth quarter. We kind of lost him with some cramps, so there's no telling how many times he would have carried the ball and how many yards he would have ended up had he been able to, finish the game.
Well, Coach Bachmann, we appreciate your time here on the Scoreboard Show. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck in preparing for Week 3.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Thank you. They got shots of pickle juice these days in the store to buy them.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's made specifically. You don't just eat the pickles and then just.
No, it's a shot of pickle juice.
We're doing one next when we get back. Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge, and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there. What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Catholic shuts out Acadiana tonight 20-0. Zachary a 41-2 winner over St. Paul. Dutchtown defeats Evangel 38-7. Bruley a winner over Parkview Baptist 14-7. Donaldsonville over Port Allen 40-18. Scotlandville 39-20 winner over East Ascension. St. John of Plaquemine 14, Central Private 10, and Central 40, Terra 6.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Neville over Washita 28-6. Washita Christian 35, Oak Grove 21. Bastrop 16, Faraday 0. Sterlington 35, Mangum 13. Union Parish over Airline 43-20. General Trass over Wassman 56-22. Cedar Creek 40, Vidalia 6. And Joan Hodge 41, West Washita 20.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Benton 49, Barb 40. It was Church Point 32, Kaplan 8. Manny over DeRitter 61-26. Grand Lake 26, Lake Arthur 15. Eunice 33, Jennings 18. And Alexandria Senior High School over St. Thomas More 59-35.
The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
Mandeville over Dunham 27-6. It was Covington over Franklinton 34-21. North Shore over Salmon 41-34. And Pearl River over Pope John Paul 42-21. All right, that'll wrap up hour 1 of week 2 on the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. More coaches, more scores, more reaction from all the action from tonight here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
It's hour 2 in this week 2 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy in our cast of thousands. Ryan Kennedy producing the audio tonight. Taylor Sharp on video. Skip, Will, Charlie. I'm probably leaving somebody out here behind the scenes. Reese.
Taylor Sharp kind of sounds like a rock star name, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe it's fake. I never thought about that. Maybe it's a stage name. It could be. He's got a football background.
Yes, he
so
does.
That's why he's
quarterback background, too.
He works well in the room. And speaking of Taylor, I will need him here in a second because we mentioned in hour 1 a great thing done by Central High School, Central playing Terra tonight, and they honored a couple of families who are fighting cancer. This is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, so if you come to the surface here, a couple of those honoring, I believe, young Avery.
Avery?
Yeah, the young lady, 10 years old and about to start more than a couple, 18 weeks of chemo treatment, and a couple of players there honoring, fans honoring her, the school taking some time to honor those families. Just a really cool gesture. But this is what you get when you talk about the community-based schools and what they do.
And absolutely. And you got some pictures?
Yes, there's another one. This is the young lady that we're talking about.
Well, so that's her dad, and that's them. She's still in the hospital, but that's obviously her initials. And there's Avery right there, 10 years old. And
beautiful little girl.
Yeah, absolutely. And so at Central, they did a fundraising for St. Jude. They recognized 3 families. It's Child Awareness Month. I think you couldn't say that enough to let people know what's going on, and go to stjude.com. And, hats off to Central as well for, doing these type of things. They did something for the police a couple of years ago. They always recognize something. And more importantly, though, Cade, it teaches kids. It just teaches the kids to give back and to be selfless and to think about other things. And if you're in it just to win, you're really missing the boat. There's always opportunity to teach kids life lessons, no matter what they may be.
I think we have Trev Faulk from Lafayette Christian on the phone. Coach, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Coach, big win tonight over Lafayette, crosstown rivalry, your high school stomping grounds. How'd it go?
Yes, sir. We were able to get off to a fast start in the game. My kids did a really good job of executing all 3 phases of the game tonight to get a really good win over a good opponent.
Coach, is it defensively? You've got some guys over there that are well recognized. My question to you is, how do you continue to push those guys and get them better? You're probably going to be better off than I was when we were working with Big L and Jeremy, but it was a constant learning or a constant battle for us to figure out ways to challenge those guys.
Really, we're fortunate in that we have some kids that are first and foremost really high character people, and so they want to be coached hard. They want to be challenged. They want to try to uphold the standard that they've helped to set here as part of this program. And so we're fortunate enough to have some good players, and we try to create competition in practice and competition really within themselves, and them just focusing on continuing to get better and improve each and every day. And so, like I said, it kind of first and foremost starts off with those guys and who they are and the people that they want to be, and that kind of helps to really create an environment where they have to come out and compete and do the very best that they can every day.
Coaches, how is Brylan Green? Is he back yet?
No, sir. We're hoping that he'll be back next week. He started back doing some. He's cleared to start doing some conditioning work this week here and kind of start to work his way back into playing. And so those things have been successful, and we're hoping to have him back. We're cautiously optimistic that he'll be back for week 3.
Your defense, everybody knows about Green. Fitzgerald West committed to LSU, Jordan Allen, a Penn State commit. But you got a young sophomore quarterback in people call him J.J. Johnson. How's he developing?
He had a tremendous night tonight. He's really been tremendous throughout the season so far. Had a good week last week versus Westgate and kind of carried that on through this one tonight versus a tough Lafayette High defense. And so he's dynamic in both throwing it and running it, and he's able to keep some plays alive. But we're really excited about him and the progress that he's making. And he's just going to continue to work hard and try to keep developing.
Coach, a lot of success, 4 straight state championships,
yes,
if
sir.
I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
going
sir.
for 5. Your schedule's brutal.
Yes,
you play Zachary in the Jamboree.
Yes, sir.
Last week you play a 5A Westgate. You play Lafayette today. Then I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was talking to Acadiana people. I think you play them next week. I think you have Catholic
Yes,
High
sir.
later in the year.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the reasoning for such a great schedule. And I commend you for stepping up to do that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like at this point, our guys, we're really trying to transition. Not say transition, that's not the right term, but we're trying to just become a good football program. I think for the last few years, we've been fortunate enough to establish ourselves as a good small school program or a good Class 2A, Division 3, Division 1 program. And right now, we're in the process really of testing ourselves and trying to push ourselves into just being just a good football program, regardless of the size of our school, regardless of classification. And we like challenges, we like tests, and we have some really good football teams, really good programs that we're able to schedule and, who wanted to play us as well. So that worked out well, and our kids want to go out and compete and play against some really good football teams. So it's just a combination of several factors, and we want to test ourselves and see where we are and try to prepare for the playoffs.
Coach, serious question here. You know Gordy Rush?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He told me if he had to, he could take you out anytime with full pads. He said he could break your ankles.
Good luck.
I'm just messing with you.
Yes, sir.
Coach Faulk, talk about, in all seriousness, and this was not like, we're not going to tackle Gordy Rush tonight, but your relationship with Cedric Figaro. Both of you are Lafayette High School legends, All-Americans in high school, All-Americans in college, went on to successful pro careers. And I think Cedric's probably a little bit older than you, but talk about y'all's relationship and what it meant. Because Lafayette's put out a few good linebackers back in that time, and even before that, Mike Bro from Acadiana, some really good players there.
Yes, sir. Really, our relationship is really like I really look at Fig as a big brother. I was interviewed recently kind of talking about along the same lines, and Fig was the standard for me. A goal, something to try to reach, something to try to chase. And really having him at the same position that I played, a guy that grew up really not too far from where I grew up at, similar neighborhood, similar situations, and seeing him to go on and be extremely successful and achieve great things at the highest level, those were motivating factors and really inspiration for me to try to go out and be the best that I could be. So I know every day that I walked out of the Lafayette High gym for those 4 years, I walked past his USA Today All-American picture, and I just I'm a dreamer, so that just helped to fuel some dreams for me. And then as we've kind of gotten older and gotten into the coaching world, he's been a mentor there for me as well. So, like I said, I have a lot of respect, a lot of love for Fig, and I'm very appreciative of the relationship that we have.
Well, Coach, congratulations, and good luck next week against Acadiana. It ought to be one heck of a dogfight over there. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
You know, guys, when you look at non-district scheduling and teams that step up and really play that tough competition, it certainly prepares them. And in some ways, I wonder, you got to give the credit to the coaches, the athletic directors that do that. And in some cases, I wonder, do coaches do that because they look at their district and say, hey, I don't know if we're going to see this level in our district. Now, you got Notre Dame, you got Kaplan and stuff, but maybe it's a good idea. Let's get in some of these now, because look, district is district, and sometimes you can throw the records out, but a lot of times maybe you look and you see we're just not going to see that. We need to get ourselves tested. And a team like Lafayette Christian throws that out of the way.
That's a great question.
Everybody's situation, Cade, when it comes to scheduling, I think, is different.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a new coach and you're taking over a program that has a losing history, you want to schedule some games that you're going to be competitive in and have a chance to win. What's that
Builds
do?
some confidence.
It builds confidence. It will get 4, 5, 10 kids that are walking the hall who didn't want anything to do with it because they were losing to come out to your team. It gets your numbers up. It gets people in the stands. They get more money. So that's one way to approach it. Then you get to that mid-level, and you're going to schedule differently. And then you're going to get to a level where I know at Redemptorist we tried to schedule 3 non-district games where one of them was a game we should win easily. One of them was a 50-50 type game. And then one of them was a game that we should probably get beat in.
On the road.
And
usually.
then we wanted to go on the road, at least one of those games be on the road where you had to get on the charter buses, not just your regular school bus and go across town, to where you had to go 2.5, 4 hours away, where you had to make a stop somewhere else and have a pregame, do all those things for
at a car wash or something.
Now, the things you have to worry about when you're playing a schedule like Woodlawn, Catholic High, Lake Charles, Lafayette Christian, schools like that, especially at your smaller schools, is being physically beat up. Now, they'll have time probably because those teams are going to be so much better than teams in their districts, or like in Lafayette Christian situation, other than Notre Dame, if they're still in the same district, they should walk through it so they'll have some time to get well.
6-2A.
But yeah, they've been banged up already to start the season, so you run further risk of that. But hats off, I thought Coach Brewerton and Zachary had a great schedule this year.
Well, and even though Seminole didn't do it, Catholic High has an incredible schedule.
Right.
But, Kate, it's a great question, man. And you could ask 15 different people that and probably get 15 different answers on their philosophy on how to do that. And it's always, some people feel like that teams will schedule to help themselves PowerPoint-wise. Like maybe a 3A school will try to go down to 1A and play a team that's going to get 8 wins. So that means that they would get 10 points for their win and 8 points for every win that team they beat gets.
Yeah, and I don't expect any coach to tell me, hey, we play in a weak district. No one wants to say that, but sometimes the district is just a little behind some of the others.
Yep.
And then at the same time, I know right now we're in a world where we're kind of opportunistic scheduling. There was an opportunity for Live to go play a ball game tonight, and they had to go to Mississippi. Okay, they arranged it. They went and did it. Sometimes coach was talking about they had a game against St. Aug. Let's take it. Let's go do it. And right now, the last 2 years, it's been about, can we get a game on the field? But certainly in the back of your mind, what you're trying to do, I'm sure, during the week is saying, at all costs, let's try to get a game that benefits us. At the end of the day, we got to get a game. But, yeah, you're trying to work those two strategies, I'm sure, back and forth.
Another thing is sometimes those are the only schools who will play each other. It is hard when you get to that John Curtis, West Monroe, Zachary, Acadiana Catholic level. It's hard to get teams to schedule you. So you have to play that tough of a schedule.
And really, the last 2 years, I know no one here thinks a whole lot of COVID, but we've really seen some phenomenal matchups out of district. That
just kind of created out of the blue.
Yep. Shout out to Cam.
Yeah. Camden and Massengale and Ty Kimball. Big wins last night, Northwest Middle, 34-0. And then also West Side with the 72-14 win over Shadow Creek.
Yeah, I think the girl played or something is what he was telling me. But how about a team just pulling up and quitting? You're in middle school and you just pull up and quit.
Yeah.
Wait, come on. That's not what you teach kids. It goes back to what your purpose is.
Yeah.
You fight through that type of stuff. You don't just pull up and say, hey, get on the bus, we quit. But that's exactly what happened in the middle school game last night.
Another score coming in. Springfield beat Broadmoor 56-8.
Did we get an Albany
St. Michael?
St. Michael?
I have not.
I might can get to
that. Was the other LP area score I was trying to follow from earlier. So we'll take a timeout. When we get back, a couple of scores. We'll update you here on this Week 2 edition of Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, served by Walk-Ons.
Catholic defeats Acadiana 20-0. Zachary a 41-2 winner over St. Paul. Dutchtown defeats Evangel 38-7. Bruley, a 14-7 winner over Parkview. Donaldsonville defeats Port Allen 40-18. Scotlandville 39-20 winner over East Ascension. St. John 14, Central Private 10, and Central 40, Terra 6.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by peak performance.
Neville with the victory over Washita 28-6. Washita Christian 35, Oak Grove 21. Bastrop 16, Faraday 0. Sterlington with the win over Mangum 35-13. Union Parish 43, Airline 20. General Trask 56, Wassman 22. Cedar Creek with the victory over Vidalia 40-6. Joan Hodge 41, West Washita 20.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Benton over Barb 49-40. Manny 61, DeRitter 26. Eunice a 33-16 winner over Jennings. Church Point 32, Kaplan 8. Iowa 41, Kinder 18. Grand Lake 26, Lake Arthur 15, and Alexandria 59, St. Thomas More 35.
The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
Mandeville gets the victory over Dunham 27-6. Covington 34, Franklinton 21. North Shore over Solomon 41-34. And Pearl River 42, Pope John Paul 21.
Thanks so much to Skip and Reese getting our scores tonight. But behind the scenes, we had Charlie, we had Will, we have a cast of thousands, Ryan and Taylor. I'm Cade Wazan along with Coach Todd Black and Coach Jimmy Roy. And on the phones right now, GMFS Mortgage Hotline, we are
going to pick up. He's going to be there just a second. You know how
Hunter Bauer.
Bauer of Go Preps. He's done really good in the state and jumping in and building his website. And he touches a little bit north, south, east, west.
A little bit everywhere, and it's a great resource for us to have on as a tab on my browser every Friday. I can tell you that. Hunter Bauer, GoPreps.com joins us now. Hunter, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Hey, I want to touch on a game. We were talking about this out in the Southwest area as much as things are kind of focused right now on the recovery efforts here. You look back at a team like Barb playing Benton tonight, and getting back on the field. Just the idea of getting into a Friday night under the lights and playing some ball must be just huge for that community.
Yeah, no doubt. Barb's first home game in almost 2 years, I think. Big for that community, and it's funny you say under the lights. They actually had to play under temporary lights tonight, which kept going out on them from what I hear, and kind of kept delaying the game between them and Benton tonight. But they got through it, and I tell you what, Barb's young. They lost a lot of players to other schools last year after the hurricane, and so they're trying to rebuild that team over there at Barb, and they got their running back who played at Kinder last year on the state championship team over there, so they got him back. But really young, the offense is good, but just got some work to do on the defensive side. And but yeah, for this community to come back and play football, all the teams around here, it's just I think it's something that's encouraging, and it's just good to see around here.
Hunter, what are the enrollments looking like? And I know you probably don't know exactly, and I hate to put you on the spot, but like Sam Houston, Sulphur, Barb, those Lagrange, are the enrollments coming back to what they were previously, or are they still way down?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know the answer to that. When we came back, probably in November, December, we were told that Barb and Sam were at 4A numbers, and then I've heard that they've kind of built that back up since then. So, honestly, I couldn't tell you what the exact enrollment is, but from everything that I've heard, they should be about where they are come reclassification time, I don't think anybody's going to move up or down as far as 5A schools. You may see a Washington Marion or a LaGrange maybe move down. But, I mean, if I had to guess, the Sulphurs and the Barbs, they'll probably be fine, and they'll still be in 5A.
And I think it's another good tip of the cap to the LHSAA for not reclassifying over this past offseason like they were supposed to, because those schools would not be classified as they should be.
Question is, do they delay it another year?
Because of now?
Well,
yeah.
I was talking to Robin Fanbro about this the other day. I don't think that would be a good idea. I mean, you could have a hurricane every year from here on out, and at some point you got to get back to business. And I think that the LHSA, is going to have to go and reclassify this year. It's going to really hurt those Houma area teams and maybe some of the schools over there in the New Orleans area. But no, as much as I hate it, I think they have to reclassify and get back to normalcy, as whatever normalcy is these days. But yeah, no, I can see them doing the reclassification in October.
So Hunter Bauer is, the lead guy on GoPreps, the owner, the author on GoPreps.com. He has all the latest updates from around the state. And a lot of articles as well. What's kind of the probably one of the most different stories that you've heard so far this season? And I'm just kind of picking your brain here that you think the listeners and the viewers might want to hear about.
Yeah, well, honestly, it could correlate with a game that went on tonight. And that was Evangel. They're on a 12-game losing streak. Who'd you ever thought Evangel would be on a 12-game losing streak? I think there were times in that program's history where they may not have lost maybe one or two straight during seasons. But, yeah, that's just a program. They're really struggling up there in Shreveport. I've heard enrollment is low, and, some of the supporters that they had, back in the day are not there anymore. But from what I've been told, they're building their program back up. They've got a lot of young people trying to get invested in that program again. And, you got a lot of old coaches that were there during the day that are coming back to try to help. So, that's just an interesting storyline that, you look at and go, that's just something you never thought you'd see. It'd be kind of like a John Curtis losing 12 in a row. So, that and just the hurricane stuff, just trying to, wade through everything. I feel like once I got a firm schedule down for the past 2 weeks, something else would change. So,
tell me.
It just was, it's been crazy, but, our prayers and our thoughts are with those guys down there. I got a cousin down there that lives around Cutoffs, and so they got it bad down there, so we're thinking of them.
Mentioning Evangel, they played Dutchtown tonight. Dutchtown a 38-7 winner. It was good to see Coach Guy Mastretta get his Dutchtown team back on the field. They missed the Jamboree. They missed week 1 to no fault or no doing of their own. They got caught in a tough situation with the Jamboree a day before they were supposed to play. It was good to see them go on and get a fairly easy game under their belt just because of conditioning and lack of practice. They needed that as their schedule will get tougher. Hunter, before we let you go, best team west of Lafayette?
Got to give it to Lake Charles Prep. They're just really talented this year. And, I think they have 8 D1 signings under their belt. So led by Trevante Citizen, who's going to LSU, a good running back. If they're not careful, they're going to be in the picture for the state championship, just like they were last year. I think they were a touchdown away from making it to the state title game last year. So, Southwest Louisiana, you're going to have Lake Charles Prep that's going to be ruling the area here for the next few years while those other ones build their programs back up.
Then you have the Notre Dames probably that'll all be there as well, but Lake Charles College Prep is just a step above everybody right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they went to a good 6A Mississippi school and competed with them last week, and they just manhandled Franklin Parish, which is I think they're a 4A school now.
Yeah,
but
I think so too.
Yeah, and they got a tough schedule coming up too. They still have to play De La Salle if De La Salle is able to play, and I think they play Plaquemine, and then they have a tough district with Jennings and St. Louis and Iowa and all them. So a really good schedule for them. They're going to get tested, but if they can stay healthy, I can see them going a long way this year.
What's the best team at 600 Forsyth, Monroe, Louisiana, 71201? Just curious.
West Monroe.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, I know it's late. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, hey, I tell you what, especially thinking of about Northeast Louisiana, man, how about Oak Grove? They just kind of shocked me so far. They lost a big one to Mangum last week, and then they get beat by Washington Christian tonight. So just something that I didn't think I would see is them going 0-2 this to start the year. So it's just another storyline to look at this year.
They've lost to two good teams, but they had to replace Ron Creighton last year, who was their big back, and then they're starting a freshman at quarterback in Jackson Bradley. So it's going. They've played two good teams. At the end of the year, you're going to see them get better and better, and you're going to see them there. They may not be a state championship team. They're going to be
one of the four.
They're going to make a run. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And Oak Grove's one of those squads. They're kind of like Haynesville. They could lose 3 or 4 ball games, but I guarantee you, they're going to be sniffing around the quarterfinal, semifinal round come November and December. So, just kind of a shocker to see at first, but you never count the Tigers out up there.
How good is Landon Graves up there at Washita Christian?
What's that?
How good is Landon Graves up there at Washita Christian, quarterback? Have you seen anything on him?
No, I haven't got to see anything of Mr. Smith. I talked to Coach Fitzhugh a couple months back, and really high on him. Really good quarterback, really athletic. So, Washita Christian is one of those schools too, where even though if they lose a lot, and I don't think they did this year, but even if they do lose a lot, they always have reserves coming in, and they're going to be ready to go as well. So Washita Christian is going to be fun to watch, as well as Calvary Baptist up in Northwest Louisiana.
Coach Fitzhugh has a heck of a program.
Well, and look, Sterlington made an effort to build their facilities and their school up to compete with Washita Christian, so kids wouldn't go to Washita Christian. They've done a good job. They're doing a really good job with it. It's just the brand of football right there. I guess Sterlington, Washita Christian may not be a mile apart, if I'm not mistaken, but it's a big rivalry up there. Then you had Union Parish right there, and Union Parish.
Sterlington with a big win over Mangum, 35-13 tonight. Both 1-0 going in. So.
And I tell you what, a lot of people overlook this school, and they don't want to give a lot of credit to Coach Wells and what he's doing at this school. But I tell you what, you better watch General Trask. They've got a coach that is really investing in that program, and he's got those kids believing in that program up there again. General Trask, they went to the semifinals last year, first time since like 1962. So they got a lot of momentum. They're riding a lot of momentum. They beat Wasserman tonight. So, that's another. Northeast Louisiana just has some really good football this year.
Ain't nothing else to do up there, bro.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just being honest.
If it's anything like Haynesville, all you got to do is go. All there is to do is just go Bay Hill or right around Main Street. So I completely understand it.
Kay, do you know what cow tipping is?
I've heard it. Yeah. Heard about it. All right.
No kidding, John.
Hunter Bauer, GoPreps.com. And thanks so much for spending a couple of minutes with us tonight.
Yeah, thank y'all. And then remember, GoPreps.com, GEAUX. We got live scores every week, and we'll also have power ratings for football updated every 4 hours up until the playoffs. And check us out on social media as well at GoPrepsLA. So appreciate y'all taking time to talk with me, guys, and I look forward to it soon.
Thank you,
Absolutely, man.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Be nice to cows. It's Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hour Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, served by Walk-Ons.
Catholic shuts out Acadiana tonight 20-0. Zachary a 41-2 winner over St. Paul. Dutchtown defeats Evangel 38-7. Bruley a 14-7 winner over Parkview Baptist. Donaldsonville over Port Allen a 40-18. Scotlandville 39-20 winner over East Ascension. St. John 14, Central Private 10, and Central 40, Terra 6.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Neville over Washita 28-6. Washita Christian 35, Oak Grove 21. Bastrop shuts out Faraday 16-0. Sterlington 35, Mangum 13. Union Parish over Airline 43-20. General Trask gets the victory over Wassman 56-22. Cedar Creek 40, Vidalia 6. Joan Hodge, 41. West Washita, 20.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Benton a 49-41 over Barr. Manny 61, DeRitter 26. Eunice a 33-18 winner over Jennings. Church Point 32, Kaplan 8. Iowa a 41-18 winner over Kinder. Grand Lake 26, Lake Arthur 15. And Alexandria a 59-35 winner over St. Thomas More.
The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
Mandeville with the win over Dunham, 27-6. Covington wins against Franklinton, 34-21. North Shore with the victory over Solomon, 41-34. And Pearl River 42. Pope John Paul, 21.
Thank you, Reese. Thank you, Skip, getting our scores read throughout the night. And we go ahead and jump back on the GMFS Mortgage Hotline. Head coach of the St. Michael Warriors, Zach Leger, joins us now. Coach, congratulations on the win. Thanks so much for spending some time with us tonight.
Oh, no problem. Thank y'all for having me.
Man, congratulations on your first W, man.
Appreciate it, man. It's a great feeling.
Tell it, how did your team react, and what'd you tell them after the win?
It was a great feeling. I was telling somebody earlier, it felt like a football community again. The boys were ecstatic, the fans were ecstatic, cheer, dance, flag. Everybody was just over the moon, and it felt like a good community team win. We talked to them all week about not taking this team lightly. Albany has great athletes, and they showed that early on tonight. And we expressed to them that if you do what we've taught you to do, what we've worked at all week long, we should have no problem. And they did that. They came out, we moved the ball. Defense got some 3-and-outs. They got some big stops, held them to a shutout. And so we put all the phases together, and it showed. And it's beyond exciting to see what's going on right now.
I have to commend Albany for playing tonight, because that community, I know several people live there. They were hit extremely hard. So just for them to get away from it for a little bit had to be a nice feeling, even though the outcome wasn't quite what they wanted. St. Michael had a convincing win.
Oh, without a doubt, and I have nothing but respect for that community, those coaches, those kids. I mean, me and Coach Knight have been talking all week long, and I know what they're going through. And, I told my coaches tonight, I said, as good as it feels to win, I can't imagine being on their bus. They're going back to no power. They got no power. They're still decimated over there. They hadn't been in school all week. They've been coming to practice and doing what they need to do. So it was a great feeling for them to be able to get out tonight and be able to play.
Coach, who are some of the key players for us to look forward to the rest of the season?
Oh, Damon Blocker and Nick Johnson for sure. We got a sophomore quarterback who's really starting to come into his own. He's understanding the spread offense that we're running now, and just starting to take charge. Last year he got thrown in as a freshman halfway through the year. We had moved Nick from starting quarterback to just a better wingback and defensive guy for us. And so Blocker kind of started those snaps, and he's really starting to mature and just get to where he needs to be. And Nick's our workhorse. We tag him as an athlete. We don't tag him as a running back or a corner or anything like that. He's just an athlete. He plays both sides of the ball pretty much the whole night long. So they're definitely top two guys to be looking for. And Phillip Hines, he's just a great kid for us. He toted the rock tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't have close to 100 yards on top of whatever Nick had. So both of those guys right now are just doing special things in the background, and just they're going at it all the time. And we're starting to get a little receiving core together. We got some sophomores that came in with Damon Blocker, Thomas Falcon, a couple freshmen, John Martinez, Nathan Saylor, and, they're not the tallest or the biggest guys, but, they're workhorses. They get after it, and they don't let people push them around, and they're not afraid to go get the ball. So definitely some great things coming along. And, I've got to give credit to my five up front. They've been working all week and trying to get better and understand. I got 3 returning starters who, we ran wing T triple option for the past 3 years, so they're getting a whole new offense thrown at them, and they're taking it day by day, and they're coming together. So it's a great thing.
You let Coach Kling know I had to replace him on the Dutchtown Facebook page with Coach Email tonight because he decided to be offensive coordinator for you.
Yeah, he did. We were able to sneak him away from Dutchtown there. We lost Coach Dietrich late in the summer, early in the summer, I should say, and had an opportunity. Kling had reached out to me earlier in the year when we were looking for coaches, kept his number, and very happy with him. He had great play calling tonight, brought back a style of offense that I like, some of the stuff we ran back when you were there, Todd. Spread style, power, counters, things like that, old school football. And so we were able to spread it out a little bit tonight and do something different.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win, your first as a head coach. Hopefully there'll be many more to come, and keep that Warrior pride up over there.
Well, that's the goal right there. We're going to come back on Sunday, start getting ready for Live Oak.
Yeah. Also, Todd, I want to congratulate Coach Minton over at St. John, his first year as a head coach. First win over Central Private, 14-10. A couple other ones real quick. Bruley over Parkview I thought was a big one. Assumption over Plaquemine, 34-12, pretty convincing win. We've had several people text us wanting to know the last time St. Thomas More was 0-2. Mr. Robert Gray is a stat guru in this area. Said it was 2012 they lost to Sulphur 35-28 and to Central 34-28 to open the season.
Did anybody see a Port Allen, Donaldsonville? I think it was up there. I just wasn't paying attention to who won that. But both those teams are coming off very good playoff runs last year.
Yeah. Donaldsonville 40-18 over Port Allen, and Port Allen coming off that
lost to
Bruley last week.
Yeah.
And I remember Coach was telling us. I think he was heavily stacked with seniors last year, so he's going to have to.
And Donaldsonville is supposed to have a lot of guys back. Who was it that beat them? Madison Prep. They led Madison Prep early in the playoffs in the first half, and then Madison Prep ended up coming back and beating them pretty convincingly. But yeah, Donaldsonville's got a good team. They're another area that did get hit, and late last week they still didn't have power.
West Monroe, also Ruston were two teams that had New Orleans opponents. I think Ruston had Rummel, West Monroe had Brother Martin. They couldn't find any replacements, so therefore they were both idle this week.
All right, we'll come right back and wrap things up for this week 2 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
You guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, We are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Auctioner Health.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back. One more segment to go here in this week 2 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Kate Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy. And any other scores, guys, to stand out to us?
Westside 72, Shadow Creek 14. But no, in all seriousness, Catholic High with a convincing win tonight over Acadiana. Acadiana tried to make a game out of it in the second half, but just couldn't answer offensively. U-High over Woodlawn, I thought locally was a big one. Zachary over St. Paul really surprised me. But then I started thinking about it a little more. Zachary hasn't missed really many practices. St. Paul has missed some because of the storm. So that could have played a factor in it. But with St. Paul's returning 9 starters on defense, all front 7 coming back against Zachary's new front 5, for Zachary to go up and put up 41, win 41-2, I thought that was a statement win.
As you mentioned, a lot of teams that are surprising us at 0-2. We have St. Thomas More. We have Oak Grove. Who else did we were talking about earlier that might be 0-2? Not Evangel's, not a surprise. But teams like that.
Bruley being 2-0.
Bruley's being 2-0. And I think that's it right now. Each week we'll get more and more teams back out there on the playing field, and that'll be good for everybody.
I think that's the biggest thing to look forward to, Kate, is more and more teams coming back. Within these next 2 weeks, hopefully we'll have just about everybody back.
And just to show you how really special sports can be, you can't script things like that. So tonight, we haven't mentioned it much, but tonight Catholic High spent some time honoring one of their legends who passed last week, and Kevin Franklin, who we just absolutely had a chance to meet one time at the Superdome during their state championship broadcast. Just a fantastic guy. The score tonight is 20-0.
Wow. Did not think of that.
That's Kevin's number 20. I mean, it
rumble, young man, rumble. Wow.
Things are happen in weird ways, and that's just one thing that Dixon pointed out at the end of the broadcast. Like, good point.
I didn't realize that. That's incredible.
Kind of changing the mode a little bit. Brock likes his TikTok stuff, and he wrote on here, he gave me this the other day, what he put. He said, do you know 8-hour students get less time outside than prisoners do? Who thinks of that? Seriously.
I don't know.
I mean, where's he getting his information from?
Twitter.
Maybe his
Google.
mom?
Possibly.
Hey, before we get out of here, so tomorrow, our video producer, Taylor Sharp, is going to be enjoying his birthday at Tiger Stadium, cheering on the Tigers, hopefully get a win over the Cowboys. But our very own Skip
birthday.
Celebrating the
21
birthday tonight. What is the 14th anniversary of your 21st birthday?
35.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
What you got over there, Taylor?
A tribute.
A tribute to Skip.
Skip.
There you go. Do we have any volume with that?
I don't know, but I don't have moves. Skip has moves. Ladies and gentlemen. How do they follow you on the talk?
What is that? How do they follow you on TikTok?
It's Adam Contreras 1 2 3 4.
There you go.
CTRER.
There you go.
That's awesome. There you go.
That's good stuff.
I couldn't get away with that.
I didn't even know what TikTok was.
Fancy Light.
What was it?
The name of that song is called Fancy Light.
Can you do it now?
Play the song.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't know what TikTok is from Tic Tac.
That's right.
There we go. We'll wrap up tonight's show. Thanks so much for everyone tuning in. Thanks to our cast of thousands, everyone, Hunter Bauer, Zach Leger, Trev Faulk, David Brewerton, Thomas Bachmann, all guests tonight on the show. We appreciate it. Tune in Sunday night at 6 for Louisiana Prep Weekly. Until then, this has been Prep Scoreboard. We'll see you next week.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more